Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Hyundai Elantra N. This model is finished off in performance blue and they have an MSRP right around $33,000. We have a very fun and sporty sedan to go over, including driving this with those 3 pedals. So let's start off with what powers this Elantra N. Underneath the hood is the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This model is paired to the 6-speed manual transmission. It pumps out 275 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the front wheels, propelling this 3,300-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds. The automatic is going to be slightly quicker. Top speed is 155 miles an hour, and as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking at 22 miles per gallon in the city, 31 out on the highway for the manual transmission. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice that there's a pretty large upper grille, but it blends in nicely with the headlight housings on both sides. There's a lot of cutouts and logo on that passenger side, as well as more cutouts in the lower section, and this even gets additional cutouts for better airflow on the far ends. There's also a few sensors up front, and all of the red accents is a part of that end package as well. Very nice lines that come down the hood too, meeting the top section of that grille very nicely. And for the side, this gets a set of 19-inch wheels with that 2-tone design, multi-spoke pattern. There's even the red brake calipers to match all of the red accents. N badge is stamped in that lower section. This does have gloss black mirrors with the turn signal, and then take a look at the very interesting contoured lines for the front door panels. I think it gives it a very unique look, definitely a little bit aggressive, a lot different than some other sedan models, but very crisp points. They even go all the way to the rear. Now for this Elantra, it gets a massive trunk mounted spoiler finished off in gloss black. It works very well for this car. There's a backup camera, LED taillights with the bar that runs right through that trunk. There's parking sensors, and then the dual exhaust along with the diffuser with a few fins just to give it some more of that added aggression. Now, to gain access to the trunk, we can use this hidden button or the key fob, of course. And first thing that you will notice is the strut bar for this. To make it that much more structural and rigid, you do have that bar. You can still fold down the back seats. You will have that in your way, but it's just something that you're going to have to work around. Aside from that though, you have plenty of space. So you can fit in a lot of items without having to fold down the back seats. And it's very lightweight, so it's super easy to open and close. Now as we work our way to the back seats, there's the suede on the door panel, along with a little bit of storage. We do have some plastic as well. Suede is definitely a great touch to see. And then leather and suede for these seats with all the blue stitching, which matches very nicely. Now at 5'10", I have plenty of space. I really don't have any complaints. There's a lot of footroom. I have about an inch or so above my head, and it's very spacious in the back. Not a lot of amenities. There's no storage pockets. There's no climate adjustments, but you have a little bit of storage and then the floor space there. So it is nice. It is functional for full-size adults. Now up front, door panel is just like the rear. This has Bose audio, all of the window adjustments, side mirror controls, and more storage. And then down below, there's the fuel cap and the trunk release. And take a look at these N Sport Bucket seats. More leather and Alcantara. They're manual adjusting. There's the illuminating N badge as well. It's definitely a comfortable seat for this sporty sedan. Now let's fire this up with my foot on the brake and the clutch. We can bring this to life. And we have the solid and perforated leather steering wheel with the N logo down below. Left side is going to give you your volume, tuning, you have Bluetooth and voice commands along with a favorites. Right side is going to give you your cruise and adaptive cruise control settings, your distance pacing, and then you also have some more info you can go through within the digital gauge cluster. So left side, miles per hour, fuel level, right side, tach, and the engine temperature. And then you have all this information to scroll through just depending on what you need to see for the day. It's not a ton of info, but it's definitely nice to have. And then you can also change the layout by using this N button right here. This will allow you to go through the 3 different driving modes. So there's eco, normal, and sport. And then technically the 4th and 5th driving mode is your N setting. So you can go into N, where the gauge cluster will change. You have all of these performance vitals that you can monitor, and then you can push on it one more time to customize N. So you have basically a standard N mode, and then you can customize it the way that you would like to. Very cool to see that. This also has active rev matching, so you can turn that on and off. Left side, dimmer switch, lane keeping assist, and traction control. This is nothing. This is just a blank display or a graphic there. It would be cool to see in the future some kind of touchscreen control system. But for the infotainment system now, we have the calm screen that you can look at. You can go into all of these icons depending on what you'd like to see. There's even N mode, so you can further go through some performance vitals, throttle, some temps on that left side, lap timer. You have miles per hour in the tach. You even have some different circuits that you can look at. So if you're curious what other racetracks look like, just pull them up right there in your Hyundai. You can also go through the custom settings. Like I mentioned earlier, there's launch control too, and you have your G-force meter, some other performance options for the launch control, shift light, and you have the active sound design. So you can change that, of course, as you would like to. There's also buttons down below to further go through this. So you have your map, your nav, you have your favorites button. It's currently set up for this screen in this vehicle. You have power and volume for the radio too. And then underneath that, all the climate adjustments, fan speed, temperature dials. This even has heated seats too, as well as all of the defrosters. There's more auxiliaries down below with the wireless charging, and you even have a shortcut to the camera system, so you can pull that up as needed, and there's a shortcut to the driving modes too. So whether you use the steering wheel or the controls down below. And with the 6-speed manual, let's put it into reverse. That is your backup camera. You also have 2 different angles depending on what you need to see, and then the rest of the 6 gears, of course. 2 cup holders behind that with the manual parking brake, a little bit of storage in the center armrest, as well as in the glove box. And you do get a passenger handle, so that way they can hold on while you're doing some spirited driving in your Hyundai. And as far as visibility goes, it's very easy to see over both shoulders. But now let's go ahead and get this out on the road. And I will also say that it is well refined. It is a Hyundai, and Hyundai has come a long way over the last several years. When people think of Hyundai, they think of 10-year-old Hyundais, but Hyundai today is a vehicle that you should put on your list. You can get a brand new vehicle for a very affordable price. 36 grand is well under the average price of a brand new vehicle today. And you get a sporty and fun family style sedan that you can just have a blast with. But let's slow it down. We are going to go into second gear. We'll give it another acceleration. Here we go. We got 1 pop in that upshift, and it's definitely a pretty quick car for that acceleration. And even in N mode right now, I like how it's driving. It's also very quiet, it's comfortable to drive. This is a commuter daily driving sedan that gives you some of that added horsepower just to make it that much more fun to drive. So if you're looking for something that's going to be very fuel efficient, but you also want something that's going to give you power, we have pretty tight steering here, but a nice turnaround radius, but it definitely has that direct steering, and it's going to give you that fun factor, so that way you can have the best of both worlds. I think it's a really great option to go with for this segment, and it's very nice to drive. So I don't have any complaints for it for the time that I've been behind the wheel. If you're in the market for a fun, sporty sedan, definitely put the Elantra on your list. The fact that they offer an auto and a manual, I think, is a plus. So that way they can appeal to more buyers, and just depends on what you would like for your daily driving sporty Hyundai. But that is going to wrap it up for the Elantra N. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.